I stood there in the pouring rain outside Kit's apartment building in Portland. My boots soaked through and the letter trembling in my hand like it had a heartbeat of its own. The streetlight buzzed overhead, casting long shadows across the cracked sidewalk. And I could smell the wet concrete mixing with the faint pine from the trees lining the block. Kit stepped out under the awning, her dark hair already frizzing from the mist. Arms wrapped around herself in that old gray hoodie she'd stolen from me last winter. I didn't say anything. I just held out the envelope, creased from too many rewrites, and watched her fingers brush mine as she took it. The look in her eyes, the way they flicked from the paper to my face and back again, widening just enough to show the storm behind them, told me I was in trouble.
Real trouble.
Real trouble. She didn't open it right then.
She
just clutched it tighter,
her knuckles going white.
And the rain kept drumming on the metal roof above us like it was trying to drown out whatever was about to happen. I swallowed hard, tasting the cold on my tongue, and forced a half smile that felt cracked at the edges. "Read it when you're ready," I said, voice barely above the downpour. Kit nodded once.
Kit knew there was no turning
Slow.
back. One slow nod sealed their fate.
Then she turned and disappeared inside,
the door
clicking shut with a finality that made my chest ache. I stood there another minute, rain sliding down my neck, wondering if I'd just ruined the only good thing I had left in this city. We'd met 4 years earlier at a crowded campus coffee shop during freshman orientation. The kind of place where the espresso machine hissed non-stop and the windows fogged up from all the wet jackets. I was Romy,
22-year-old young American woman
corner,
sketching in the corner of this crowded campus coffee shop.
and she was Kit,
the
biology major who laughed too loud at her own jokes and always ordered the same oat milk latte. She bumped my table reaching for a napkin, spilled my coffee. And instead of apologizing, she just grinned and said, "Guess I owe you a new one." That was it.
From then on, we
Study
were
sessions.
inseparable. Study sessions.
That turned into all-night talks. Weekend hikes where we'd sit on fallen logs and watch the fog roll through the evergreens. But lately something had shifted. Like the air between us had grown thicker. I'd catch her staring at me across the kitchen table while we shared takeout Thai food. The steam curling up between us, her fork paused halfway to her mouth. Or she'd brush my shoulder when she reached for the remote. And I'd feel it like a spark that lingered long after she pulled away. I never said anything. I couldn't. Grad school applications. A future in research.
Weekends back home
in that small Idaho town where her parents still asked about the nice boys she dated in high school. I was the messy one. The one who painted abstracts at 3 a.m.
and didn't believe in plans.
Still, leaned her head on my shoulder during a movie. The scent of her coconut shampoo filling the space between us. I felt the words building up like pressure behind my ribs. The letter had taken me 3 weeks to write. I'd sat at my tiny desk under the string lights. The city hummed drifting through the open window. Pen scratching across paper while my heart hammered so loud I was sure the neighbors could hear it. I told her everything. The way her laugh made the worst days feel survivable. The way I'd memorized the freckle pattern on her left cheek. The way I'd been falling for her since that first spilled coffee. I didn't ask for anything. I just needed her to know. And now, standing in the rain, I wondered if knowing was enough to break us. 2 days passed before my phone buzzed. It was Kit.
A single text.
Over.
Come over.
Doors unlocked.
Doors unlocked.
My stomach flipped.
I
drove across town with the wipers slapping rhythmically.
The
radio low.
Every red light
giving me too much time to think. When I let myself in, she was on the couch, legs tucked under her. The letter open on the coffee table like evidence. The apartment smelled like the vanilla candle she always burned when she was anxious.
The scent hung in the air between them.
Sweet and heavy. Her eyes met mine, and for a second neither of us spoke. The silence stretched, filled only by the distant traffic outside and the soft tick of the wall clock. "You wrote this," she said finally. Voice quiet but steady, like she was testing the words. I nodded, sinking into the armchair across from her. My hands clasped so tight my nails dug into my palms. Kit picked up the letter again, fingers tracing a line I'd underlined twice. "Romy, I don't even know what to say." She exhaled,
a 22-year-old young American woman,
long and shaky, and the sound hit me somewhere deep. I wanted to reach across the space between us, but I stayed put, letting the microtension coil tighter. We talked for hours that night, the kind of conversation that circles and circles without landing. She told me about the pressure she felt back home, the way her mom still sent her articles about finding the right man, the way she'd spent years convincing herself that what she felt around me was just friendship on steroids. I listened.
Really listened.
The way her voice cracked when she admitted she'd reread the letter 4 times already. At one point she laughed, soft and bitter, and said,
"God, Romy,
you
always see right through me."
The candle flame flickered between us, casting warm shadows across her face, and I felt my own breath catch. Weeks blurred after that.
We kept doing the
same things, grabbing coffee at our usual spot, where the barista knew our orders by heart, walking the waterfront trail while the Willamette River glinted under gray skies, but everything felt different now. Closer.
Her hand would linger on my arm a
second longer when she laughed at my dumb jokes.
Lingering hand on arm, laughing motion.
I'd catch her watching me while I painted in the living room. The smell of turpentine sharp in the air, and she'd look away quick, cheeks pink. Microtensions everywhere, the way she'd steal bites of my muffin. And our fingers would brush, sending little jolts up my spine, the way she'd sigh, and stretch out on the couch after a long lab day. Her socked feet ending up in my lap like it was the most natural thing. One evening we ended up at the little park near my place, the one with the fairy lights strung through the trees. The air was crisp, carrying the scent of damp earth and distant barbecue smoke from someone's backyard. We sat on the same bench we'd claimed years ago, shoulders touching, and Kit turned to me. "I keep thinking about what you wrote," she said, voice barely louder than the rustle of leaves. "About how you feel. About us." Her eyes searched mine, and I saw the fear there, mixed with something warmer, something that made my pulse race. I didn't push.
I just nodded,
letting the quiet settle around us like a blanket.
Then her
hand found mine. It was tentative at first, fingers sliding between mine, warm despite the chill. I squeezed back, and the contact sent a rush through me, relief, terror,
joy, all tangled up.
We stayed like that for a long time, thumbs tracing slow circles, The city sounds fading into the background. I don't trust anyone, she whispered suddenly. The words slipping out like she'd been holding them for years. Her voice broke on the last syllable. And she looked away toward the darkened path. Not really. Not after everything. I felt my throat tighten. I knew what she meant, the family expectations, the years of pretending. The way the world could turn sharp if you stepped out of line. But you, she trailed off. Then met my eyes again. You make me want to try. The words hung there. Heavy and honest. And before I could answer, she leaned in. The first kiss was soft. Almost hesitant. Her lips tasting like the mint gum she'd been chewing earlier. My hand came up to cup her cheek. Thumb brushing the edge of her jaw. And the world narrowed to just us, the faint sound of her breath catching. The warmth of her skin. The way her fingers tightened in my hoodie. It wasn't fireworks. It was quieter. Like something clicking into place after years of being slightly off. We pulled back after a moment. Foreheads resting together. And I could feel her trembling. Romy, she breathed. A question and an answer all at once. I kissed her again. Slower this time. Letting the emotion build like the slow tide coming in. The park lights glowed soft above us. And for those minutes everything felt possible. But life doesn't stay in park benches and stolen kisses. The real conflict crept in a few days later when Kit's phone started blowing up, her mom calling about a family reunion back in Idaho. The kind where everyone would ask why she still wasn't dating anyone serious. She sat on my bed while I sketched her from across the room. The pencil scratching softly against paper, and told me she wasn't ready. Not for the questions. Not for the fallout. My world isn't like yours. Romy, she said. Voice tight. You paint what you feel and people call it brave. I work in a lab where half the team still makes jokes about alternative lifestyles. If this gets out, I lose pieces of myself I'm not sure I can afford to lose. I set the sketch pad down. The charcoal smudging my fingers. And crossed to her. We were close again. Knees touching. But the air felt heavier now. I wanted to tell her it didn't have to be all or nothing. That we could figure it out together. But the words stuck. Instead, I just held her, feeling the rise and fall of her breathing against me. The faint scent of her shampoo mixing with the laundry detergent on my sheets. The tension coiled tighter, love pulling one way, fear the other. The breaking point came on a rainy Sunday afternoon. The same kind of weather as the night I handed her the letter. We'd spent the day tangled up on the couch watching old movies. Her head on my chest. My fingers combing through her hair. Every so often she'd sigh. Content, and I'd feel that dangerous hope flare up. Then her phone lit up with a text from her sister, Mom's asking again. You bringing anyone special this year? Kid read it, went still, and sat up. The look on her face was the same one from that first night, wide eyes. Trouble written all over them. I can't do both, she said quietly, the words dropping like stones. I can't be the girl they expect and the one who's with you. Not yet. Her voice cracked.
Maybe not ever.
And she reached for my hand but didn't quite take it. I felt the choice hanging there. Sharp and unavoidable. My identity, open. Unapologetic.
The artist who
refused to hide was pulling me forward. Hers was still tethered to a life that didn't have room for this. For us. I could have pushed. I could have said we'd fight for it.
That love was worth
the risk. But I saw the exhaustion in her eyes.
The way
her shoulders curved like the weight was already too much. So I made the call for both of us. Even though it tore something open inside me. Then we take what we can, I whispered. Pulling her close again. We kissed one last time that day, slow and aching. The kind of kiss that tastes like goodbye even when no one says the word. Her tears mixed with mine. Salty on our lips.
And the
rain outside kept falling like it understood. She left for Idaho 2 weeks later. I drove her to the airport.
The truck
cab filled. With the smell of her duffel bag and the coffee we'd grabbed on the way. At the curb she turned to me, eyes red but steady. I don't regret the letter, she said, voice soft against the hum of engines. I don't regret any of it. Then she was gone. Disappearing through the sliding doors. And I sat there in the drop-off lane until a security guard waved me on. We still text. We still call late at night when the distance feels too wide. Sometimes she sends me photos from her lab.
Or I send her sketches
of the city without her in it. It's not perfect. It's not the fairy tale ending people want in these stories. There are days I replay that first kiss in the park and wonder if I should have fought harder. There are nights she calls crying because the family questions cut deeper than she expected. But there's also this quiet truth between us now, the knowledge that we tried. That the connection we built is real even if the world isn't ready for it yet. I still have the letter.
She mailed it back to me
folded inside a card that just said, for when you need reminding. I keep it in the drawer by my bed. Next to the sketch I drew of her that rainy Sunday. Every so often I pull it out, run my thumb over the ink-smudged words, and let myself feel the full weight of what we almost had. The trouble in her eyes that night wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something messier, something truer. Life keeps moving. I'm painting more these days. Bigger canvases that bleed with all the colors I couldn't say out loud. Kit's finishing her master's applications.
I don't think I can make it work.
Sending me voice notes from her car between classes. Her laugh still cutting through the static like sunlight. We're not together the way I dreamed. We're not hiding either.
We're just
us. Two women who found each other in a coffee spill and a handwritten letter. Who learned that love doesn't always look like the movies. It looks like choosing each other in the small ways. Even when the big ways scare you half to death. And yeah. At my window. Rain streaking the glass. And wonder what would have happened if I'd never handed her that letter. Then I remember the way her eyes softened right before that first kiss. The way her hand fit in mine like it belonged there. And I know I'd do it all over again. Because even in the trouble, even in the ache, there was something worth every single heartbeat.